Hello everyone, this is class 10 environmental geography. So we'll study different environmental conditions, different biotic, abiotic elements in this chapter, right? So we live in different environments, so we should have to know the different characteristics of the different environment. There are so many environment like grassland, mountains, and different types of desert, different types of water bodies, and the habitations of the peoples in different environment, right? Okay, first start with the ecosystem. So we know what is the ecosystem because this is the very familiar term in environmental geography. So we are discussing the environmental geography, right? So in this geography, actually environment comprises of all biotic and the abiotic things, right? So we know there are different elements of the environment, biotic element, abiotic element, right? So the ecosystem, but a particular definition is there. What is that ecosystem? But in this ecosystem, all biotic, abiotic, all these things comprised of, right? So the physical or natural environment comprising all the living organisms within it has been known as the ecosystem. That means what? All the living organisms. Here one simple term is there, all the living organisms. And that means what? That is just a particular area. Suppose like this, our ocean ecosystem, river ecosystem, mountain ecosystem. That means what? So in a mountain, particular mountain, so what happens there? Living beings and non-living beings. Those are stayed here, right? Living, non-living beings comprised in the ecosystem. That means air, water bodies, human beings, other species, other these non-living beings, mountain, right? Rocks, this plateau. So all these things included in this ecosystem. But so we have to write that is the ecosystem is that just a situation where the abiotic and the biotic things are interrelated with each other, right? So we know these four layers of the atmosphere. We know very clearly what is the lithosphere because we are getting this lithosphere from lower classes. Hydrosphere, we know hydrosphere, just it represents the water bodies. This biosphere, we know this biosphere only, it means what? Living organisms, right? Living organisms only. Then atmosphere, and atmosphere, all these things are what? All gases are there. So what happens now in the environmental geography? One thing is there. So one question frequently comes in all the year, that is how, that means you have to write the interrelationship between the atmosphere, lithosphere and the biosphere. Suppose I have written here biosphere because when one diagram is also there in the book, you can see it, right? Biosphere. Suppose here atmosphere is there. Atmosphere is here. Here lithosphere is there, right? Lithosphere is here. Then again here biosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere and the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere. Suppose these are the different what? Layer, right? So these layer are what? These layers are actually interrelated. That means we can draw like this. That means at lithosphere depends on the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere again depends on the lithosphere. Again lithosphere depends on biosphere. Again biosphere depends on lithosphere. That means what? Lithosphere comprises of the land surface. That means that directly land. Our surface is called the lithosphere, right? Then again this lithosphere also depends on the atmosphere because all the living beings take the oxygen from the atmosphere, right? Because oxygen is available in the atmosphere. Again other carbon cycle is going on, hydrological cycle is going on. So on the basis of what happened, again biosphere depends on hydrosphere because these different living beings, they are in the hydrosphere, that means under the ocean, in the ocean, right? From one small fish to the reptiles to the blue whales, right? Again hydrosphere depends on the atmosphere. That means what? This again water bodies again depends on atmosphere because hydrosphere gets their infall from the atmosphere, right? That means that all these lithosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere are interrelated. So on the basis of this, so actually question comes how these things are actually interrelated. So we have to write only the interrelation. So that's why to know the interrelation, say between this all this hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere, we have two cycles. Number one is the hydrological cycle cycle, right? Next one is the carbon cycle. Carbon cycle, right? So that means what? Hydrological cycle, we know how this water vapor gets to the atmosphere, how again from the atmosphere water vapor converted to the again water, tiny particles of water, again how actually after condensation different processes are there. This hydrological condensation process is there, sublimation process is there. So what is condensation, what is sublimation? You don't confuse it. Condensation means when the vapor particles converted to the water particles, okay? Vapor particles converted to the water particles before raining. So these are raining actually. This is the cloud and these are raining, right? Again sublimation. What is that sublimation? Sublimation is what? Sublimation is directly when the vapor particles converted to the ice particle, right? Ice particle. So ice particle where ice falls, that is called what? That is called the snowfall, right? That is snowfall, sometimes hailstorm flow. So that is called a sublimation. So these are different processes. So on the basis of this interrelationship between biosphere, atmosphere and the other sphere, these sublimation, condensation, these processes are going on. Again another carbon cycle is there. Carbon cycle means actually these cycles depends on the forest, living beings, right? That is carbon dating, one term is there, right? Again this increasing of the carbons in the plants and the other rocks, animals, in the other species, right? So these are hydrological carbon cycle. Just only it is the base to understand what are the different relationship between the biotic, abiotic, hydrosphere and the lithosphere, right? So we have the another topic here, regional variation of the environment. So what is the meaning of variation? Variation means differentiation, right? So here we can write differentiation. Differentiation means variation. Variation means from one environment to the another environment, from one region to the another region. Suppose this is the region 1, this is the region 2. Suppose we are taking this is the region of the hills, okay? This is the region of the mountains, and this is the regions of the sea beaches, right? So we know these sea beaches are generally different from these hilly regions. That means what? There is regional variation. Some plain regions are different from the plateau regions. Some these water body regions is different from the riverine regions. So that means what? From region to region, environment to environment is different, right? So that's why it is called the variation of the environment. So here one question is there. One question arises here. This statement will come, okay? Question will come like this. This is the question. Suppose the environment of a particular region, this is a particular region, does influence, do you know the meaning of influence? Does influence the environment of another region, right? That means what? The environment of a particular region does influence the environment of another region. That means what? Environment of a region. Suppose this is A is a environment, A is a region, so environment of A region is influence of the environment of Z. Okay, Z is a region, A is a region. So what happens? One environment influence over the other. That means what? Suppose this is the mountain area. This is the mountain area. So that mountain area, what will happen? This environment will definitely influence over any plain region, right? Any plain region, any other region. So just like what happened, the question will come like this: analyze the statement. Okay, analyze the statement. So question will come like this. So it is very common question. This question is in your textbook also. So suppose this is a mountain. So when southwest monsoon comes, we know what is that southwest monsoon, what is that northeast monsoon, right? So when southwest monsoon comes, what happens? Means every time it's stuck over the Himalaya. We know Himalaya is extending. It is just situating in the northern part of India, right? So in the northern part of India, Himalaya is there. So this just make roll like a what? Just it rolls like the obstacles. Obstacles means that is the way which actually obstruct. That means what? So mountain is standing like this. This is just a obstacle of what? Obstacle of this the wind. That means it blocked the wind, right? So when it blocked the wind, only this the foothill region of the mountain, it receives the rainfall. Because why? Because when wind comes, it stuck over the mountain, goes upward, makes saturation, then after that it gives the rainfall. That means what? Only because of this mountain, Himalaya mountain, the rainfall is getting in the foothill regions of the Himalaya, right? So otherwise, definitely this wind would go to the across of the Himalaya, right? So that means what, one particular region is influencing over the another. That means suppose we are standing in the sea beaches. Suppose we are standing over the Mumbai coast, right? So in the Mumbai coastal region, that is the temperature is the moderate. Why moderate? Because of the marine influence. What is that marine influence? So marine influence means what? Marine influence means influence of the sea water, right? So when the sea water comes, when the ocean current comes, you know the ocean current, right? When the ocean current comes, some ocean currents are warm, some ocean currents are cold, right? So warm ocean current, some ocean currents are cold. So what happens when this cold ocean current comes and the stuck over the Mumbai coastal area? That what happens? So that what happens? Just it makes the climate or temperature of the this coastal area is moderate. That means moderate means not too much cold, not too much hot. So why it is moderate? Because cold winds are coming from the sea, again hot winds are coming from the this land surface, but in the beach area is the between the land surface and the water bodies. So what will happen? From the both side wind will come and stuck over each other, and it will mix up with each other. Then what will happen? It will make the coastal area remain cool, right? So that is called the moderate. Then again same simple things. Just suppose when the our El Nino comes, okay, don't to go to El Nino. When this our cyclone comes, so what happens when a cyclone comes from the sea or a water bodies? So it already affected what the continental region, right? So last time cyclone came, that is the cyclone Fani came. So it has stuck over what? Stuck over the Bangladesh, so many parts of the this Myanmar, Burma, some parts of the India, right? So last time again this Amphan cyclone came, it stuck over the Kolkata region. That means what? This cyclone is originated generally belongs to the Arabian Sea, or sorry, Bay of Bengal. But so region of the this environment of the Bay of Bengal is directly affecting over the continental region of the India, right? So that means what? One region does influence. Okay, you just be remembered this one does influence the environment of the another region. So it will come to analyze. So this is a revision class. That's why just I'm telling to you, just analyze the statement. Analyze means according to you, you have to write your own concept. What is your opinion, right? Okay, so let's move to the another topic. So along with this, we'll see actually before reaching to the another topic. So we have to see one topic because this is actually very confusing to you. What is the difference between taiga and the tundra? So we are discussing about the regional variation, right? So we know taiga and tundra actually we found this region in the polar region. Both regions are actually we found in polar region. So but what is this tundra? What is this taiga? So tundra is just ice covered, totally ice covered region. Totally ice covered region is called the tundra. And taiga, what is taiga? Taiga, in taiga region some forest we can found, but in this tundra region no any forest is there. So tundra region is those region which is totally covered by ice for 6 months of the year, right? So in the taiga region what happened? Some types of forest we can found. So that forest is called the coniferous forest, right? Some types of lichens, mosses are grown because of what? Because of it depends upon the precipitation. So what is precipitation? Precipitation means the falling down of the water in any form. So in the polar region generally fog is there, snowfall is there. That means what? This fog, snowfall, this environment actually just make the environment different. Okay. So for today only this much. Thank you. See you in the next session. Thank you.